Hi and welcome to our fourth level 1 algebra video. In this video we continue talking how to simplify terms. In this video we're going to focus on algebraic roots. When we take a square root of a letter or variable that's been raised to a power, the key thing is we halve the power. So if I take the square root of a to the power of 10, the answer is a to the power of 5 because we halve 10. This is because the square root, which should be written as a square root with a 2 out the front, is really the same as something to the power of a half. And so 10 times a half makes 5. When we have a coefficient, which is a large number out the front inside the square root, you are going to find the square root of the coefficient and you're still going to halve the power. So the second example, we're taking the square root of 16 times a to the power of 10. Notice that we halve the power to get a to the power of 5, but we didn't halve 16. We took the square root of 16, and the square root of 16 is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. Let's go through a couple of examples to reinforce this. So let's simplify the square root of 81 times x to the power of 6. Well, let's use our key ideas here. The square root of 81 is 9, because 9 times 9 is 81. And we halve the power to get x to the power of 3. So our final answer is 9x to the power of 3. Example 2, the square root of 100 times x to the power of 10 times y squared. Our key rules again. Let's square root 100 to get 10. Let's halve the power of x to the power of 10 to get x to the power of 5. And let's halve the power of y squared to get y by itself. Y to the power of 1, but we don't write y to the power of 1. So our final answer is 10 times x to the power of 5 times y. And finally, we'll look at example 3, a little tricky one. We're taking the square root of, inside brackets, 3x to the power of 5 all squared, all divided by x to the power of 4. Now, the way I'm going to go through it is not the only way to solve and simplify this. It's the way I like to do it. If you watched the last video, you will realize when we raise a power and there's a fraction inside, we take the top part and raise that to the power, and take the bottom part and raise that to a power. Well, this is very similar. We're taking the square root of a fraction. So we're going to break this up and say it's the square root of the top part, and it's the square root of the bottom part. Now let's look at the top part. Before we try and take the square root, we have to simplify it. So let's go back to a rule we've already looked at. We're going to turn 3x to the power of 5 all squared into 9x to the power of 10. And we did this by going 3 to the power of 2, which is 3 times 3, which is 9. And then we went 5 times 2 makes x to the power of 10. Right, now we can use the square roots. And use our strategy. So let's you look at the top of the fraction, and let's square root 9 to get 3. 3 times 3 makes 9. And let's halve the power back to x to the power of 5. On the bottom, we're going to halve the power to get x to the power of 2. This simplifies down to 3 times x to the power of 3, because we can go 5 minus 2 makes a power of 3. Great, thanks for watching.